Continuing on with Al-Wajibah, the obligatory matters. And just a little recap, we was going over what is Aqeedah in the first lesson, and it's saying that Aqeedah is basically beliefs, a system of beliefs. You know, the system of beliefs, what we supposed to believe in Islam. One second, let me grab a book of Hadiths. 1 second. Okay, so I got 2 books of Bukhari, alhamdulillah, 1 book of Muslim, and 1 book of Nasa'i. So I want to show something, because when we talk about Aqeedah, some people, I remember individuals used to even be tested with this when they would ask them, what is Aqeedah? What's your Aqeedah? Alhamdulillah. Okay, alhamdulillah. So they would ask, what is your Aqeedah? And things like that, right? So, they would be like, Aqeedah is basically your 6 pillars, right? Some people would say pillars, but you know, the belief in Allah, belief in the books. And if you knew these 6, then you understood what Aqeedah was, right? So let's go to a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, because I want to show something. So when you go to this hadith in Sahih Bukhari, this one is in volume 1, hadith number 50, right? So when it says, keep in mind, they was really testing people with the 6 pillars of Aqeedah. And if you didn't know these, you didn't understand Aqeedah, it didn't even go into the detail how you had to have the correct beliefs about these 6 pillars, like the correct beliefs about the angels, not just I believe that the angels exist, right? Not just the correct beliefs. Like, okay, we'll say the belief in Allah's books, right? But you have individuals that believing that the actual book, that the actual Bible that individuals walk around, people would say that was, they correct Aqeedah is to believe that that book, that this Bible that they run around with is the book of Allah. Although it's been changed, it's been tampered with, it's been buzzed down to 66 books when the Ethiopian one has 88 books. So you have all these different things, right, intact when it comes to that. So point being, we know Allah's book can't be changed. Now, of course, what he sent down, they don't have. But would that be from the correct Aqeedah to say that that book is the book of Allah? You have the correct beliefs about Allah's books. So just to show how you got to have the correct belief, not just saying, okay, I believe that Allah's books exist. So this is what Aqeedah is. It's a system of beliefs, but you have to have the correct beliefs about those within that system. Like certain things where individuals who say, you have one group that says it's impossible for Allah to even be able to move because he created directions. Would that be considered the correct beliefs about Allah? Nah. Then you have another group who says that Allah is everywhere. Would that be correct? Nah, it's not. So you have the ones who negate the fact that Allah rose be above his throne, like he said he did. We not putting any details or description to exactly how he did rise, but they say that's impossible because Allah can't move, so Allah exists without a place. So when you just common knowledge, is Allah somewhere? Yeah, he's somewhere. Okay, well, anything that's somewhere is in a place. Oh, but Allah exists without a place. When Allah says he come down to the lower heaven, oh, well, that just means that's you don't have the correct beliefs about Allah. But you feel like because you know these 6 categories, you know the names of them, then you know what Aqeedah is. And Aqeedah is way more than that. So let me show y'all this hadith in Bukhari, right? Volume 1, hadith number 50. When the angel Jibreel, right, asked the Rasul, what is Iman? Allah's messenger replied, belief in Allah, that's 1, right? His angels, that's 2. The meeting with Allah, a lot of people don't even have that in their category. That's 3. His messengers, that's 4. And to believe in the resurrection, that's 5. Right? Sahih Hadith in Bukhari, it lists 5. Right? But a lot of people don't know this. And then, like I said, a lot of people in their list, they don't have the meeting with Allah. So, do you say you're not supposed to believe in the meeting of Allah? There's one hadith in Bukhari. So this is why I want to prove that Aqeedah is more than just knowing these 6 categories that they was really testing people with. And they, that means you know Aqeedah, right? So we'll go to second hadith, Sahih Bukhari. This one is in volume 6, hadith number 4,777, right? So the angel Jibreel asked the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what is faith? The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, faith is belief in Allah, His angels, His books, His messenger, the meeting with Him, right? And to believe in the resurrection. So that's 6. But the meeting with Him, a lot of people don't even have this in this category. So we went to 5. We went to 6. The one with 6. But you notice both of those have the meeting with Allah. Now, not to go into too much detail, but when they say that individuals didn't differ with certain things when it came to Aqeedah, but some didn't agree on what this meeting with Allah was going to be like. Whether we going to see Allah, some didn't believe you was going to see Allah. This is a difference in Aqeedah. But again, this category, so some of these hadiths is there to because they had different views. So like again, anybody who know they 6 so-called pillars or whatever they call them, where individuals was really being tested with this a few years ago. What is Aqeedah? You imbecile, you don't know the 6 categories. But when you go to the hadiths, they wouldn't even have the meeting with Him in there. Both of these hadiths is from Sahih Bukhari, right? One with 5 categories, one with 6, or we'll say pillars, because that's the word they used to use. But both of them has the meeting with Him in it. So the one you know, write your list down and let me know if the meeting with Allah is in it. So you can see Sahih Bukhari. Like I said, that's hadith number in the book with the English, 4,777. Right? And then the other one, Sahih Bukhari, Volume 1, Hadith number 50. That's the one with 5 pillars. Alright? So now, we're going to move on to Nasa'i. This is Sunan Nasa'i, Volume 6, right? Hadith number 4,994. So, again, was asked, what is faith? He said, to believe in Allah, His angels, the books, the prophets, and to believe in the divine decree, the Qadr. 5. But this one doesn't have the meeting with Allah. Right? To believe in Allah, His angels, His books, His prophets, and to believe in the divine decree. It doesn't have the last day. So, and of course this comes with a little bit of commentary, but I just want to show. So there's another one with 5, but it doesn't have the meeting with Allah in it. But it has the divine decree. So for individuals who was testing people, and you don't know Aqeedah and this and that, if you couldn't name the 6 that they were saying, right? Let's go to Sahih Muslim. Alhamdulillah. Now this one in Sahih Muslim, Volume 1, Hadith number 7. Now look at this one. Again, what is faith? To believe in Allah, His angels, His books, the meeting with Him, right? His messengers. 5. To believe in the resurrection. 6. And to believe in the Qadr, which is 7. Now, they'll go and say some of the uleman, majority of the scholars, and these little rhetorics that they'll go and run through, say that 2 of these is combined in 1, so it really makes 6. Don't change the hadith. Don't change the hadith. If the hadith named 7, Sahih Muslim, then it's 7. You have some hadiths that names 5. But again, even with this one that names 7, what was in there? The meeting with Him. So some of them who try to say the 2 of them means this. So even if they want to say that the meeting with Him and the resurrection was the same thing, or the last day is the resurrection, and they want to say those the same thing, fine. But you still have some that only have 5. You got some that has 5 categories. You got hadiths that have 6 categories. Then you have hadiths that have 7. Right? But even when you look at the ones that have 6, it may not be the 6 that you name. But again, even those that's in here, do you not believe in those as a part of your system of beliefs? Even where you go to the Quran and it say things, you have to believe in what? The unseen. So you have to have the correct beliefs about the unseen. So you can't leave out the categories that's in the Quran for the ones that's over the Hadiths. So what I wanted to show was the 6 that people being tested with and feeling like because they can name those 6, they know Aqeedah. And that's totally incorrect. Because you could be sitting up saying that the Bible that these individuals walk around with is the book of Allah. Now we won't say that the Bible that they run around with doesn't have any truth in it. But when you get deep in the Hadiths and you get deep in the tafsirs, it's some of the stuff that what was written in there, they seen that the Rasul did and they went and changed it. When you go and read the Quran, they sit down and say, they would, after meetings with the Rasul, they would go and change the books with their hand. So you got people, oh, well, voodoo is in the Bible. Did they add it in there after the Rasul was making it? Like, do you know? Oh, well, this was in there from Islam, this right there. Did they go and add that in there? Do you know? So, you might have some type of beliefs. Like some people, you got to have the correct beliefs about the angels. Some individuals still believe that Shaitan was an angel. That ain't the correct beliefs about Allah's angels. Right? So you have to have the correct, it's a whole entire system of beliefs. And then like the book says, which we recapping, Aqeedah, it's a system of beliefs that one should be able to govern, the Muslim should be able to govern their life by this system of beliefs. So, just because certain people can name the 6 categories, of course, I can name them, but I wanted to show hadiths that doesn't have the traditional 6 that individuals is tested with. And of course, if you didn't name the 6 the exactly way they named them, guess what you was? An innovator. You was an innovator. You was off the minhaj and different things like that. So you have to have the correct beliefs, right? It isn't just the simple 6 that they name, right? So, and I'm not saying simple to belittle it, just like I'm saying individuals was really being tested with that. And this is why people need to get up there and really start learning and digging into their books and get you some of this up there so you can really learn how to implement this. So there's even Aqeedah courses, although this is about Aqeedah and we'll get into it. I might even pull up this one Aqeedah course that I used to do with certain people, right? But it would ask questions, and part of the homework, the exams, how do you implement Aqeedah in your everyday life? Some people don't even know. So even when you go to the things and you go to, when you dig deep and start to see when did Salat come into the picture, right? The 5 dailies. When did Zakat come into the thing? When did fasting for Ramadan come into play? And you will see these things with Islam was existing 10, 11, 12, 13 years before some of this stuff came down. So what was being taught? Aqeedah, which was one of the first pillars of Aqeedah. This is why they say Tawheed is the first pillar of Aqeedah. Why? Because the hadith say you have to have the belief in Allah. Not, I believe that Allah exists. Okay, I believe Allah exists, but I believe Allah is everywhere. I believe Allah is in me. Right? This is the incorrect beliefs. But you may be able to say, belief in Allah, belief in His books, belief in the messenger, belief in the angels, and then you know Aqeedah, but at the same time you believe Allah is in you. You believe Allah is every single place, everywhere. But your Aqeedah is sound. Your Aqeedah is extremely thorough because you know these 6 categories that individuals was being tested with, but you don't even have the correct beliefs about all 6 of those categories, let alone the hadith with 5, the hadith with 7, the ones that's in the Quran, the belief in the unseens. But you have to understand. So when you start to go in and start learning about different sects and see why these hadiths, not why they was there, but when certain books, with the way that the books of hadith was compiled, because this was Dalil, because you have like different groups, the Qadriya as they call them, where they say there is no Qadr of Allah. They don't believe in the Qadr of Allah, right? Which is, and this book is going to go into that. There is no Qadr, right? Or they have twisted beliefs about the Qadr, as in you don't have a choice. You can't make a decision. Like you can't sit down and say, I want bacon and eggs today. Like it's impossible for you to choose that. I want me some beef bacon, some turkey bacon, and some cheese eggs. And then you may get up and walk to the kitchen to go get the beef bacon and turkey bacon out, and then you might have some oranges and some pink grapefruits and something in there, and then you just end up being like, man, you know what? I'd rather have a pink grapefruit. You don't have the ability to have those type of decision making because they don't have the correct belief about the Qadr, or just like when you get into the hadiths and then you read certain surahs, like a lot of people don't even know that certain surahs, the whole entire surahs is du'as, right? They say that the Qadr can't be changed, right? But when you get into the hadiths, what do it say that the evil eye can do? The evil eye can change the Qadr. Of course, there's 2 types. There's the Qadr that can't be changed, such as when you was going to be born, who your parents was going to be, what race and gender you was. Even if certain people may bleach their skin like Michael Jackson and become white, you may even get your gender switched, but you still what you was when you born. You just been surgically and bleached and transferred into something else, but you still what you was. So that's what I mean. But then the evil eye can change the Qadr. So when you even go to the Quran ayats, where it's saying people may even cause you to slip with their eye. That's why you have certain whole entire ayats. Let me grab a Quran real quick. One second. Okay, I had to grab a Quran real quick just to show something, and then a tafsir, right? So, as we were stating, so even when you look at Quran al-Kareem, where it states that in Surah 68, ayat number 51, and verily, those who disbelieve will almost make you slip with their eyes through hatred, through jealousy, through envy, right? when they hear the reminder of the Quran, and they say, verily, that the Rasul is a madman. So when you go and look into the tafsirs on it, which I got them pulled up on my phone, right? So it's saying, and verily those who disbelieve would almost make you slip with your eyes. Ibn Abbas, Mujahid, and others have said, would make you slip in order to have some effect on you. So by them trying to call him a madman, they really hoping that he becomes a madman, right? In order to have some effect on you. With their eyes, meaning they will affect you by looking at you with their eyes, the evil eye. This means they are jealous of you due to their hatred of you, and were it not for Allah's protection of you, defending you against them, then their evil eye would harm you, right? So then they go through different hadiths, and excuse me, astaghfirullah, my bad for that, man. So when they go through different hadiths, hold on. So what it says is, from Tirmidhi, if anything was able to overcome the decree, which is the qadr of Allah, it would be the evil eye. So the evil eye can change the qadr. Then you have hadiths, there's du'as that can change the qadr. Of course, now like they say, then Allah will just decree something else. So yes, that will also be the qadr, but it could have been something else. Like one example I seen a sheikh was given, like, let's say you was leaving a home and it could have been decreed for something to happen to you when you left the home. But then you made dua to Allah for protection to make it back home safely, or to make it where you're going in and not getting. So then that decree for something to happen to you was changed. Right? But this is just to show some groups and sects, the Qadriya and different ones, they don't have the correct beliefs about the Qadr. And then just to show another surah which involves the evil eye, but this surah is an entire dua. Surah Al-Falaq, Surah 113. So when you look at it, you know what I'm saying? Right? Where it starts off, say, right? Telling the Rasul to say, I seek refuge with Allah, the Lord of the daybreak. A'udhu billah. So you're seeking a refuge first, right? A'udhu billah. From the evil of what Allah has created, and from the evil of the darkening night as it comes with its darkness, right? And from the evil of those who practice witchcraft, right? When they blow in the knots. And from the evil of the envier when they envy. The evil eye. I mean, that's a whole dua. I seek refuge in Allah from the evil of what Allah has created, from the evil of the darkening, or what the dark hides, right? And from the evil of those who practice witchcraft when they blow in the knots, or any form of witchcraft. This was just a particular one at that time, right? And from the evil of the envier when they envy. The evil eye. Whole surah is a dua. Get familiar. I mean, so when it comes to having a correct Aqeedah, which is a system of beliefs, you gotta have the correct beliefs about, even if you only accept the 6 that you've been told and being tested with, means you're an expert on Aqeedah. Or figure out what all Aqeedah is about. Right? The whole entire system of belief that can govern your life as a Muslim, your everyday life, is more than just about, I believe these things exist. It's more than that. So that was a recap. So let me just read a little bit more from the book. So where we left off, Al-Hafid Ibn Kathir mentioned in his Tafsir of the Quran the explanation of the verse regarding the one who leaves the way of the first believers, which is found in Surah An-Nisa, and whoever contradicts and opposes the messenger after the right path has been shown clearly to him and follow other than the believer's way, we shall keep him in the path he has chosen and burn him in hell. What an evil destination. Like, it's telling you, this right here is such amazing to me, that you have people who really neglect the Sunnah and go through the rigmarole. You don't need nothing. We don't need hadiths. All you need is the Quran, and the Quran is telling you, if you choose any other path other than the Sunnah, if you choose a path other than the Sunnah, let me bring it back, man. Even if you contradict it, if you come up with some bid'ah basically, or your own Sunnah, look, and whoever contradicts and opposes the messenger after the right path, the Sunnah, has been shown clearly to him, and follow other than the believer's way, Salaf as-Salih, we shall keep him in the path they have chosen and burn them in hell for choosing and sticking to that path. What an evil destination. You need the Sunnah, right? And whoever contradicts and opposes the messenger after the right path has been shown clearly to him, this refers to whoever intentionally takes a path other than the path of the law revealed to the messenger after the truth has been made clear, apparent, and plain to them. Allah's statement, and follow other than the believer's way, refers to a type of conduct that is closely related to contradicting the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This contradiction could be in the form of contradicting a text from the Quran or the Sunnah, subhanallah, or contradicting what the Ummah of Muhammad has agreed upon. Ijma', which is the real way of what following the Salaf is. When Ijma' is up on a decision that wasn't really clear in the Quran or technically clear in Hadith, and they came together and they gathered up as much information from the Quran and an understanding of the Quran and from them Hadiths, and they made a decision and the majority of them agreed upon it. That's the decision you're supposed to choose if you come to that crossroad, because that's the understanding they had of that particular thing, and they made a ruling on it. You understand? So, but a lot of people, like they say, contradicting what the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has agreed upon. Ijma', Quran, Sunnah, Ijma'. Now, because of the fix of the madhabs and different things, they add qiyas in there now. You know, intellectual what they call it? Intellectual analysis, where you just come through your mind and you do qiyas and come with a different little thing. But so the Ummah of Muhammad is immune from error when they all agree on something, a miracle that serves to increase their honor due to the greatness of the prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are many authentic hadith on this subject. Allah warned against the evil of contradicting the Prophet and his ummah, the Salaf as-Salih, when he said, "We shall keep him in the path he has chosen and burn him in hell." What an evil destination. Like, scary thought, man. Scary thought. And then you how like even just imagine this. How can individuals be up on the sunnah and they don't even read hadiths? They don't even know what's in them. How do you even know you on the sunnah? How do you really know that the understanding you have came from the way of the Salaf? How do you know? Because somebody told you? Because individuals made up a whole list and said these is the only truthful people in the whole entire Muslim ummah, and what they say go? You understand? And then look at this. And then we're going to wrap it up. So, we shall keep them in the path they have chosen and burn them in hell. What an evil destination. Meaning, when one goes on this wicked path, it's being referred to as a wicked path because generally, sometimes when people make these type of decisions and go against the sunnah, or hey, I feel like Islam this way, Allah knows my heart, and these different things, they say I'm gonna go with this. Generally, they making a decision based off of something that they desire. So it's referred to as a wicked path, right? We will punish them by making, check out this punishment. We will punish them by making the evil path appear good in their heart. So people need to understand the punishments in this life as opposed to just the punishments when we pass away. One of the punishments in this life is that you can be considering yourself to be an excellent Muslim, but you're on a path that leads to the hellfire. And one of the punishments from Allah, because you choose that path based off of your desires, is that Allah will make that evil path appear good in the individual heart. A'udhu billah min dhalik. Right? And will beautify that path for them so that he is tempted even further. So you're going to get worse. You're going to start to do more wrong. And this is from the tafsirs of Ibn Kathir on this ayat, coming from the book Al-Wajibat. Subhanallah. So I'm going to wrap it up, that the Fajr. And just for the people who heard the couple of adhans that went off, when I paused to go do different things, I took care of my salat. I don't want nobody, think good thoughts about your brother. I don't want nobody to go who listen to it. Oh, the brother dying went off, he ignoring the salat and woo out the woo. When I pause the videos and I'm going through books and this and that, and I go pray, make wudu. Well, I was already in wudu because I, alhamdulillah, did a little praying before. But anyway, you don't know how long it's paused. So have good thoughts about your brother, man. Not saying anybody gonna do it, but I know certain individuals, because sometimes I get contacted. Oh, brother, woo, out the woo. Just like if you notice, like, and I just noticed about looking, like my ring ain't even on, because I went and I was, I took it off when I prayed and different things. But anyway, Al-Wajibah, the obligatory matters, very beneficial book. Learn more, man. Really start to dig into what Aqeedah is, man. Really start to dig into what Aqeedah is, as opposed to just sitting down. Somebody say, "What is Aqeedah?" Belief in Allah, belief in the book, belief in the messenger, belief in his angels. Come on, man. Let's really get down to it, right? Let's say, like, even with belief in the angels, right? You got to stay mindful that there's an angel sitting down. Well, astaghfirullah. I'm gonna say that's a bad choice of words because I'm talking to people. There's an angel that's writing down what you talking about. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. Angels can't really be around bad smells. So you got to have these correct type of beliefs, and you want to try to move in the type of ways and fashions so that the angels could be around you. Like some people sitting up there blowing cigarette smoke. Don't you know it's an angel right there? Blowing marijuana smokes, blowing vape smoke. Why would you, like, when you even go into the Hadiths, it's certain things, man, where the Rasul and them took care of their mouth and different type of things because they didn't even want to harm the angels with their breath. Imagine people who blowing cigarette smokes, vape smokes, marijuana smokes, crack smokes, fentanyl smokes. Like, come on, man. We gotta do better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no joke. We in it now. We in it now. Keep in mind, we will be held accountable, right, for everything we do, all the way down to the weight of an atom. Do an atom even weigh? Only Allah knows the weight of an atom. But you can think of the lightest, smallest speck of salt, chip, or a speck of pepper, and try to weigh it. And an atom is lighter than that. So if you're going to be held accountable for everything you do, down to the weight of an atom, you know how good you got to be? You know how good you got to be? Do you know how you really need to get into these books, man, before, like it's saying, before you end up on a path that you chose? As a Muslim, this ain't talking to the kuffar. As a Muslim, because you really contradicting and opposing Quran, Sunnah, and Ijma'. And then Allah beautifies that path, right? Makes that a path appear good in your heart. And this path you chose may be leading to some beautiful materialistic type things. a good job, you know. You just never know, man. But this is a punishment in this lifetime. It could lead to you literally being off your rocker. But you gonna think you demon. Or you gonna know you're not demon, but you gonna have some type of justification. Like, man, alhamdulillah, man. But inshallah, man, we'll be able to continue on. And then I'm just gonna stick to the lessons. Possibly, you know, for anybody who trying to follow along, I can read like what some of the questions is at the end of the book. Like, for instance, on your homework, right? Question number 1 is, what is Aqeedah? What is the ruling on learning the correct Aqeedah? That's 2. 3. Where was Sheikh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab born? 3. 4. What did he call to? 5. List the 5 categories that all actions fall into and briefly describe them. Right? Then you have the supplementary questions, right? How does Aqeedah help a Muslim in everyday life? Who can answer that? Like, you gotta ask yourself, can you answer that? 2. Why is sound Aqeedah so important? Can you answer that? 3. Why was it clearly a blessing from Allah Ta'ala that Sheikh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab was so successful in his cause? Can you answer that? 4. Give an example of each type of the 5 categories of actions. SubhanAllah. 5. Briefly explain the sources for learning the correct Aqeedah and the importance of taking them as our guides. So look, just even that in itself. Briefly explain the sources of learning the correct Aqeedah. So there's sources that you have to learn the correct Aqeedah. That should let you know that feeling like you know Aqeedah because you can sit down and say, believe in Allah, believe in His books, believe in the prophets, believe in the angels, believe in the last day, believe in the Qadr. You don't need no sources and stuff just to go be able to say that. So that should let you know right there, Aqeedah is way more than just saying that. Man, well, alhamdulillah. Then it's also some vocabulary words that come with it. So like the first one is Aqeedah, then Iman, At-Tawheed, Wajib, Mustahab, Mubah, Makruh, and Haram. So those are, you have to be able to define those words. So from these lessons, you'll get all that. Just like right now, we should be able to answer one. What is Aqeedah? Aqeedah is a system of beliefs that a Muslim should be able to govern their everyday lives with. The correct system of beliefs that a Muslim should be able to guide their everyday life with. What is the ruling on learning correct Aqeedah? So we'll get to those things, but anyway, assalamu alaikum, inshallah, bithni Allah ta'ala. Any mistakes I made is from myself and the shaitan, and everything I said that's correct came from Allah Azza wa Jalla Muqtadi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.